John Cena has just lost at WrestleMania and has failed to become a 17-time WWE champion. But what's next? Well, we're on the Raw after the biggest show of the year, and Cena is quite clearly deflated. And this is reflective in his promo as he says, "At WrestleMania, I failed to beat the record, to beat Gunter. But that won't stop me. My losses haven't stopped me before, and they certainly won't now. So I need to rebound, and I have a perfect way as to how I can do just that." Let's make tonight special. The Raw after WrestleMania presents the John Cena Open Challenge. If you want some, come get some. Answering the call is none other than the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, and his style of offense completely overwhelms a clearly not 100% John Cena throughout large sections of the match, although all it takes is for one counter by John for him to mount his signature comeback offense. Then with a subsequent AA, John picks up the win. Cena bounces back after the heartbreaking loss, but Pete Dunne doesn't accept his loss with stride as he blindsides the leader of the C Nation following the contest. It's a disgraceful act by Dunne, but then Tyler Bate is back, and he immediately stops Dunne from laying into Cena any further, and they start arguing up the ramp and eventually backstage, which leaves John battered and bruised in the ring until who is next to take me on at spring break, because Trick is done. Who else is man enough, huh? Who's it gonna be? Cena is on NXT, and he's here for one simple reason: to test himself against the best NXT has to offer. He wants to rebound, although it's an added bonus that if he wins the NXT Championship, that counts as number 17. But before he can even say a word, he gets interrupted by none other than CM Punk, who says, "Look, John, with us both being on our last runs, and with us being on the same brand, it pains me to see you like the way you were last week. Utterly defeated, facing off against people who haven't even challenged for an actual WWE title. You're at the end of your career, John, and that's what you're doing? And now you're facing off against the NXT champion in a pathetic attempt to reach number 17? I can't let this be the end of your run, John. So at Backlash, Pete Dunne has just blindsided CM Punk. He won't allow Punk to say that about him, but Tyler comes out and pushes him away, and with the two men arguing to the back once again, John says, "So what were you gonna say about Backlash?" Yep, at Backlash, John, I've already sanctioned this, by the way, so it'll be you versus me, with the added stipulation that the loser can't challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship for the rest of the year. So if you can't come back from your loss at WrestleMania, then you suffer the consequences. Oh, and on Monday, I'll sort out that British piece of crap, so it'll be a fair one-on-one match between you and me at Backlash. It's a humongous match announced on NXT, but that's not all, as Cena replies, "Yeah, that sounds good, Punk, but who knows? I may be NXT champion by the time that comes around, because I accept your challenge, Oba. Next week, you versus me." It's yet another huge announcement made on NXT. Obafemi will have his first title defense against none other than John Cena. But before then, Cena is on Raw and asks Adam Pearce for a rematch with Pete Dunne after the assault last week, but so does Punk. Therefore, he announces that in the main event, New Catch Republic will take on John Cena and CM Punk. It's one hell of a dream team, but there's an age-old question everyone ponders. Can they coexist? And that doesn't just apply to Punk and Cena, as there is turmoil with New Catch Republic, as where Tyler is respectful to the legends and wrestles as such, Pete doesn't care. He'll do whatever it takes for the win, and that turmoil is what costs them the match, as when they're arguing, Punk knocks Tyler off the apron before clocking Dunne with a GTS. The dynamic duo pick up the win, but although there's respect between the two, there's animosity, with Cena mouthing off, "At Backlash, My retirement tour will bounce back by beating you. And don't worry, Phil, I won't go easy. You'll be getting the best this John Cena has to offer. Good. Punk picks Cena up, but John manages to get out of harm's way before connecting an AA onto Punk. Will this be the Cena Backlash, or will Punk ruin Cena's dreams? Well, before we find out, we're at spring break and it's main event time. Can John Cena become a 17-time WWE champion in the most unexpected way possible? Or will over be too much for him to handle? Well, the match is on, and after only 1 minute of action, John manages to connect an AA. He's looking to end the match early, but Oba kicks out at 1. Cena is flabbergasted, however he knows he needs more, so he hits another, but Oba kicks out again. Then he looks for a third, but Oba counters with stiff elbows to the skull. Then he starts to dominate. He hits huge power moves left, right and centre, but as John gets up, Oba runs at him, although he gets caught and is impressively hoisted up by John as he connects a third AA. Yet 3 won't do the trick, so he calls for him to get up for one more, although Oba quickly hits a powerbomb out of nowhere. Oba has done it. He has retained the NXT Championship, and his first retention is against John Cena. It's one hell of an accomplishment, although CM Punk doesn't think so. As with Oba Femi celebrating, Punk stands over the corpse of his Backlash opponent. So will this be the Cena Backlash, with Punk standing tall over Big Match John, or can John have the opportunity to finish his story? Well, we're at the show, and it closes with Big Match John against Straight Edge Phil. Who will win? Well, the match is on and both men are going at it like they're back in 2011. Neither man will yield. Cena even manages to connect an AA, but that doesn't do the job. Punk even retaliates later in the match with a GTS, but similarly, John doesn't give up, and after 15 minutes, we're reaching the dying stages of the match, and Punk is on top as he manages to take John down and apply an anaconda vice. He's trying to force John to give up the opportunity to become a 17-time WWE champion, but like always, that doesn't happen. Cena fights out of it. Then he manages to transition into an STF. Now it's his turn to try and make Punk tap, and unlike the Straight Edge Savior, he can make him tap. Cena wins. His chances at becoming WWE Champion stay alive, which is amplified by the fact that after the grueling war, Cena declares his place in the King of the Ring tournament. He's one step closer to accomplishing his goals. It's a humongous announcement to make to send the fans home happy, but can John become king? Well, on the following Raw, Cena starts the tournament off on the right foot, as after a phenomenal back and forth match between himself and Pete Dunne, John Cena manages to catch Dunne and ultimately plant him with a picture-perfect AA to advance to the quarterfinals. But who will he face? Well, the following week, he has to take on none other than Ilya Dragunov. It's a fascinating style of clashes, but it turns out to be arguably the TV match of the year. It's everything you'd expect, if not more, from the caliber of the two warriors in the ring. Although in the end, after 20 minutes of pure utter brilliance, Cena manages to plant Ilya with an AA to advance to the semi-finals. Although his future opponent doesn't allow for him to celebrate, as Bronson Reed nails a tsunami onto him to close the show. But who will win in the semi-finals? Who will go on to face either Kevin Owens or Shinsuke Nakamura at King and Queen of the Ring? Well, the match is underway, but it's very clear John isn't in a good way. He's nowhere near 100%. He's getting absolutely demolished by Big Bronson Reed. But like always, he never gives up. He even manages to connect an AA later in the match, although Bronson stays in the fight. So John gets an idea. He sends him to the outside, redecorates the announcer's table, then plants Bronson through it with another AA. Yet Bronson won't stay down, as John can't keep him down for the free. So he has to take the ultimate risk, as he hoists Bronson up and plants him with a super AA off the middle rope. Cena has done it. He's reached the finals. He's one step closer to getting a crack at the World Championship for potentially the last time. But who will he have to face in the finals? Well, we're at the show, and John is waiting for his opponent. Kevin Owens is the last step for John Cena to overcome. Another past rival coming for one last dance. But who can win? Who can punch their ticket to face either world champion at SummerSlam? Well, the match is on, and Cena is giving it his all. He's busting out moves like it's 2015 all over again. But Kevin is still ruthless, and he stays on John throughout the entire contest. And that velocity of attacks is what overwhelms John, as Kevin manages to hit an A from powerbomb to Big Match John as well. The leader of C Nation is done. done, and Owens knows it as he tosses John into the ring, then just plays to the crowd. But then Cena rolls him up. 1, 2, no! Owens stays in the match, but he could be done for as John manages to pick him up, although Cena inadvertently bumps into the referee. And as soon as this happens, his back gives out, just like at WrestleMania. And Owens takes full advantage as he has a disgusting low blow onto John Cena. He's done, but then... Randy Orton equalizes the playing field, but why? Well, no one knows, but what everyone does know is that Cena has a chance as he drapes his arm over Kevin, and with the referee getting back into the ring, the match reaches its conclusion. 1, 2, no! Owens won't allow for John to win like that, but as both men slowly rise to their feet, John uses all of his strength to connect the AA. John Cena has won, he is now king, and it was all thanks to the Viper, the WWE champion on SmackDown, Randy Orton. But which champion will John Cena choose to face? Well, on the following Raw, it's looking like Cena may give his decision until...
You don't want none.
Look, John, me and you, we go way back, but that's not why I'm out here, because I wasn't even in the King of the Ring tournament. I've been busting my ass for this company, even when you left. I beat you God knows how many times, yet I didn't get a shot. You did. And I can understand why, but I don't think you would be the king right now if I was in the tournament. And John quickly rebuttals, okay then, 1 year on since you quit, I'll make you do that once again, because I want to take you up on that challenge, and I'll even add an extra step, which is something my opponents have loved to do in this run. If you beat me, you get a World Championship match. I'm sure Adam Pearce will be okay with it, especially seeing as my choice at SummerSlam isn't Gunter. And it sure as hell isn't Obafemi, as I already lost to both men, and they proved they were better. I don't need no one to dump on them legacy-defining wins, but one man I can dunk on, who can take an L and be fine at least, is Randy Orton. It's gonna be you against me, one more time, at SummerSlam. John Cena has just dropped 2 massive bombshells all in the span of minutes, but AJ quickly responds, hey, it's all good and everything you facing Randy, but I'm your focus right now, not him, because at Clash at the Castle, I will be the next challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's a tense stare down between one of Cena's most memorable rivals, but they don't come to blows. They have enough respect to refrain from unnecessary violence. But the following week, there's no more words, just actions, as John Cena has to warm up against someone of AJ's choice, and it turns out to be a phenomenal choice at that. Grayson Waller is looking for some revenge on John Cena for the AA delivered to him at Money in the Bank 2 years ago, and he's taking full advantage of this opportunity. He's using his agility and speed to take control of the match, but as always, John fights back. But this brings out Austin Theory, although he can't make it to the ring as AJ Styles runs him off. He wants this to be a fair warm-up, and with an AA to Waller, Cena picks up the win. He gets the momentum behind his back before his more than likely phenomenal altercation with AJ Styles at Clash at the Castle. But will that momentum be enough for him to pick up the win? Well, we're at Clash, and both men are giving it their all. They're holding nothing back. They both want to prove that they are better than the other. But Styles does the one thing you never should try unless your name is Gunter. He tries to make Cena tap. And of course, John doesn't do that. He fights out, and he even manages to connect with an AA out to Styles, although that doesn't do the trick. So he goes for an STF, but Styles pushes him away. Then he looks for Styles Clash, but Cena counters that. It's an incredible back and forth, and John continues this as he looks for another AA, yet Styles gets out of it, then puts him down with a picture-perfect Pele kick. Then Styles goes to the apron. He's wanting a phenomenal forearm, but as he leaps off, Cena catches him and connects with an AA. But to ensure the job is done, he rolls through and connects a third before finally going into the cover. Cena has won. He overcomes another former past rival, yet Cena's night isn't done with just the victory, as the WWE Champion Randy Orton confronts the leader of the C Nation. Another past rival who we'd find out will be John Cena's last. At SummerSlam, win or lose, Randy, I will retire for good. This is my last chance, and I couldn't think of going out against anyone better than my best rival. It's an emotional moment for everyone watching, aside from Randy Orton, who decks Cena with the championship. It's completely uncalled for, but Orton doesn't care as he follows through with an RKO. But before he can dish out any more damage, another rival of Cena's past makes his presence felt. Here comes Seth Rollins. He's seen enough, and he runs off Randy, although it's not for the reasons you'd expect. Did you really think I wasn't going to put my hat in John Cena's retirement tour? After all, I made John Cena into a good wrestler after being the champ who ran the camp for a decade. So this is my challenge to you, Mr. Big Match John. You versus me, Money in the Bank. No stipulations, no nothing. I just want to humiliate you before you move to SmackDown and end your illustrious career. And I guess I can't see you because you're supposed to be out here accepting my challenge by now. It's not John Cena, but the star power is just as strong. The OTC is here, but where is Cena? Well, after the promo exchange between the two former Shield members, we find out as he bursts through the crowd and drags Seth out of the ring before engaging in a wild brawl with the Visionary. And Roman just watches as the action unfolds, which concludes when Rollins gets AA'd through the announcer's table. And Cena then stares down at Rollins as he says, "You're on." But as he walks away, Roman comes out of nowhere and completely obliterates John with a spear. The message has been sent by the tribal chief as he says, "You're part of the reason I lost my title, so count me in." Roman leaves the corpses behind, but who will stand tall at Money in the Bank? Well, we're at the show, and Cena, Reigns and Rollins are competing like their lives depend on it. Cena wants momentum for his last match, Reigns wants revenge on Cena and Rollins wants to prove that he is better than both men. And after a stunning 20 minutes of action, the match reaches its conclusion, as the final act starts, with Roman looking for a spear onto Seth, although he moves out of harm's way, which ends up terribly for Cena, as he gets speared, with Rollins throwing Reigns out the ring to steal the pin. 1, 2, no! Cena stays alive, but Rollins stays on the offensive as he looks for a curb stomp, but Reigns drags him out the ring and connects a Superman punch. Then he goes into the ring, lines up Cena for a spear, but he can't connect it as Cena counters and he locks in an STF. Reigns has nowhere to go. Will he tap or can he get out of the hold? Well, he gets out of it only because of Seth Rollins, who breaks it up before connecting a buckle bomb onto Big Match John. Then he signals for a stomp. There's no one else in his way aside from a dangerous Viper. Randy Orton has once again handed Cena the victory with a silver platter, and although he doesn't want it, he's forced to take it as he connects an AA to win the match. It's a frustrating end for John, who looks at his last dance partner, and it's frustrating for Roman Reigns, who never got pinned. But now that Cena is on SmackDown, he wants to test the field of new talent he can face. So of course, he issues an open challenge, although before anyone answers, Randy Orton comes out. Why is he here? Well, it's simply to warn John Cena. John, at SummerSlam, your career ends, and I don't want any excuse when I beat you. That's why I gave you the win at Money in the Bank, and I gave you the win at King of the Ring, because I knew you'd choose me. So do another challenge, do 100 for all I care, but I will make sure you win every single one, and I will make sure that you are at 100%, because at SummerSlam, you'll have all the momentum in the world, which will be when I take your last hope and ruin your retirement tour, and it'll be even sweeter when you're at 100%. That's why I could attack you at Clash, because I knew you'd recover in time. And now, your destiny and your fate now lies in my hands. Or should I say, I am. Randy wants John, but before John can even respond, Carmelo Hayes comes out of nowhere and beats down Cena. He wants to make a name for himself, and Orton actually comes to the save for a SummerSlam opponent. He meant every word he said. He won't have John be at any less than 100% in every department, although Nick Garland decides that after the attack by Mello, that Cena will face Carmelo Hayes in the next SmackDown's main event, with Randy being barred from the building, so then there's a definitive winner. And the matchup was an absolute banger. Both men's chemistry with one another is off the charts. Cena has the strength and experience, whereas Mello has the speed and agility. Hayes even looks for his own AA to rub insult to injury, but Cena gets out of it, then looks for one of his own, but similarly Carmelo Hayes gets out of it. Then he sends Cena out the ring before diving onto the king, and once he sends Cena back into the ring, he climbs to the top rope. He's looking for nothing but net, but he can't connect it as Cena counters into a powerbomb. Then he locks in an STF, although Mello almost instantly gets out of it, then tries to roll him up, although that doesn't do the trick either. Then as both men get to their feet, Cena finally manages to connect the AA. Big match John wins, although his celebration is cut short through a dangerous Viper stalking his prey. But he doesn't attack, he just simply observes, which is something he can't do at SummerSlam. But before then, it's time for the go-home show before the biggest party of the summer can commence. And John Cena closes the show with Randy Orton as they reflect upon their history. There's nothing but respect between the two men, although Cena closes out the segment by saying, "After 23 years, my career in the WWE as a professional wrestler ends with you in the main event of SummerSlam. For the last time, you against me, our 19-year history comes to an end. And at the end, you won't be able to see me." And that's for Clash at the Castle. Cena stands tall, but will this be the case at his last match? The last time is now, and it's a signature John Cena vs Randy Orton match. They run back all the classics, although by the third act of the match, things severely ramp up, as Cena looks for an AA, but as per usual his opponent evades, but then Orton looks for an RKO, but Cena avoids that, then Cena grabs him and then locks in the STF. Will this be the way he wins his final match? No! Randy gets out of it. Then as both men get to their feet, Randy hoists Cena out into the ropes and connects his signature DDT. Then he starts to stalk his opponent, and this time he's going to strike, but Cena counters again. Then he looks for a roll-up. Will Cena win just like that? 1, 2, no! Orton kicks out, however as both men get to their feet again, Cena looks for an AA, but Orton counters into an RKO. Is Cena done? No! Cena survives, but Orton is furious, yet in the madness, he gets an idea. He goes into the corner. He's looking for a punt, but Cena gets out of dodge and finally connects with an AA, but he took himself out. And Orton's ring awareness breaks everyone's hearts as he rolls to the outside. So Cena puts him back into the ring. Then he climbs to the top rope and then unbelievably hits a mega 5-knuckle shuffle. Then he calls for the Viper to get to his feet. He needs one more AA. But as he looks for it, he gets an idea. He goes to the top rope. He's looking for the Super AA. But Randy counters, and with Cena stunned, Orton connects an Avalanche RKO. Is John Cena done? Is his career over with no number 17? 1. No! Cena with the heart of a god kicks out at 1. Orton is beside himself, so he looks for another RKO, but Cena counters and hits a shoulder block. Then he hits another, and with a spinning back suplex heard all around the world, Cena hits one last 5-knuckle shuffle. Then he puts Orton into the corner, puts him on the top rope, and connects the Avalanche AA. Can he do it? Can he win one last time? 1, 2, 3. Cena has done it. He has won the WWE Championship. It's a heartwarming moment. Everyone loves this. Cena has become a 17-time WWE Champion. He can bow out on a win, although Mr. Money in the Bank has other ideas. It's one of the most disgraceful acts ever performed by a wrestler. Chad Gable has ruined John Cena's last match, and with the new match underway, and with Cena out on his feet, Gable screams, "Ruthless aggression." Then he smacks Cena just like the leader of the Nation did to Kurt Angle all those years ago in his debut. But Cena is done, he has nothing left, and Gable in a purely evil moment hits him with an Angle slam. Is John done? No! Cena keeps going, he won't end his career like this, although that isn't his choice to make, as Gable locks in an ankle lock onto the worn out Cena. He wants to make Cena tap, but he won't. He doesn't tap, he never taps. Until tonight. Chad Gable has won. He is World Heavyweight Champion, and Cena's career is now officially over. But he did everything he set out to do. He became Grand Slam Champion. He even won the Royal Rumble. And after becoming King of the Ring for the first time, he was, at least for 5 minutes, a WWE Champion one last time, making him a 17-time WWE Champ. And even though he ended the night as a loser, Cena puts his career to rest, as he has now solidified that he is the greatest of all time. John Cena's time is up, and Chad Gable's time is now.